Rick, whoever coined the phrase survive and advance is an absolute genius. There was celebration in the stands as IU is moving on to the Sweet 16 for the second consecutive year. But I think relief was maybe the better word to describe the locker room and the coaches and the players.
No question, it was a season on the brink for Indiana, no doubt about it. Jordan Hulls injured his right shoulder. Yogi Ferrell didn't score the whole game. Cody Zeller getting his shot blocked. Nobody could stop Khalif Wyatt. Indiana was down to the last 2 minutes of this season.
That was relief tonight. It was relief. It was, I didn't have a lot of, I had emotion at halftime. I didn't have a lot of emotion during the game. I mean, we needed to play better. And it wasn't like walked in the locker room jumping up and down. I want them to be excited, but I also want them to understand what we're playing for.
The fact that they were able to win this Wisconsin-type tempo game with a Stephen Curry hot shooter in Khalif Wyatt is the testament to the perseverance of this team. He had 31, did Wyatt, for a second consecutive game, and I asked Indiana whether it was a game plan to share the responsibilities on Wyatt defensively or whether it was an in-game adjustment to switch Victor Oladipo off of him.
We needed to do a better job early of making it harder for Wyatt to get comfortable. And that doesn't mean being an all-out denial, unless it's at the shot clock. But he was just too comfortable. And I thought the guy that really stemmed the tide for us in the first half, that's why he got the start in the second half, was Remy Abel. So that was a big key.
It definitely was an adjustment. Vic started on him, but in the half, in one of the timeouts, I told Coach, I was like, put me on one. I want to take that challenge to guard him because I know I can be that, that good of a defensive player. Just like Vic is, and Will's a great defender. And we just did a great job putting fresh bodies on him.
Rick and I are off to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Regional, where the Hoosiers will now take on Syracuse. Everybody seems to be a little worried about this matchup initially. What are your thoughts?
Well, they should be. I think a lot of people in Louisville remember Syracuse for the second half of that Big East tournament game, which is probably their worst half of the year. Other than that, they've won 5 of their last 6, and they had Louisville down 15 at halftime in that game. They're a tournament-tested team with some NBA players. They have length on the perimeter and play that zone.
I've watched a ton of Syracuse. I'm an alum. It's not really a 2-3 zone anymore when you face Indiana. They are long enough. They will stretch it out so it looks more like a 3-2 and get out on those shooters. That's one of the reasons a lot of people think this might be a tough matchup in the Sweet 16. But we'll be there reporting it every step of the way. For Rick Bozich, I'm Steve Andrus, reporting from Dayton Arena for WDRB Sports.